Perhaps the most famous one, which gives rise to the name of Faustian Man, is by Oswald Spengler, who was writing in 1918. And he comes up with this idea of that Western culture is Faustian.
Yeah, he talks. So he talks about these different cultures. He describes Middle Eastern culture as a kind of Median culture, as in the kind of Magi of Persia, and he talks about modern Western culture as Faustian. So I'm just going to read a quote from it. The bent of the Faustian culture, therefore, was overpoweringly towards extension, political, economic, or spiritual. It overrode all geographical material bounds, sought of any practical object, merely for the symbol's own sake, to reach North Pole and South Pole. It ended by transforming the entire surface of the globe into a single colonial and economic system. Every thinker, from Meister Eckhart to Kant, willed to subject the phenomenal world to the assertive domination of the cognizing ego. And every leader, from Otto the Great to Napoleon, did it. So we've had some familiar names there.
So can you translate that?
Yes, but it is Spengler is, of course, very dense. He's writing at the end of World War I, and important bit of context. Yeah, the world is kind of at its most globalized and at its most colonized by the end of World War I. Much of the world's surface is under European or Western domination. And this is also kind of like the apogee of modernity. The world that we know now is sort of born in this time. And for Spengler, who is sort of a kind of political philosopher, very influenced by Nietzsche, very influenced by Goethe, who, and again, Faust, Goethe is mentioned throughout his work.
And this key book is The Decline of the West?
The Decline of the West.
Yes, The Decline of the West. And he argues for a cyclical view of civilization in which different civilization states, as it were, big, great cultural entities, rise and fall. So for him, he treats all of these Western colonial empires as part of a single civilizational culture, which he calls Faustian. And his argument is that it's about the refusal to recognize limit. So